All right, we're going to check out this Ruger 1022 Charger today. I've always really liked these things. Always wanted to shoot one, own one, and I get to today. I get to shoot one, not own it. Thanks to my good friend Brad. I appreciate the loan today so we can do the review on it. So it's just your standard, obviously it's stainless, 1022 Charger. It's got the 10.5, 11.5 inch barrel, whatever. I'll measure it real quick. Obviously this isn't by Ruger. We got some sort of Athlon optic up on here. I actually kind of like this. It comes to like a capital T in the lens. I'll try to get some imagery of that for you guys real quick. She's threaded there. We're just going to run the factory 1022 mag today. Of course, you can run the BX15s and etc. I'm sure he has some sort of zero on this thing. We're going to start off down here at the pistol bay, and then I'm going to take it down to the rifle range. I've always wondered how accurately you can shoot one of these, so that's what we're aiming to find out today. I'm also probably going to throw up my chrono here. I've always wondered about the velocity. That's part of the reason I always thought these were cool, because, they'll fit in a backpack. But with that 10 or 11 inch barrel there, it's going to give you much closer to rifle velocities than you get from a pistol. And I think I'll probably actually do a video coming up shortly where I'm going to do chrono pistol velocities, 1022 Charger velocities, and then a standard length 1022 velocities to see where exactly in the middle there that fits. But based off of what I know, and I've not looked up specific velocities on the Charger, just years of research on barrel lengths and such, like I said, it should be closer to rifle velocities and hopefully closer to rifle accuracy as well. But anyways, we'll start out down here. I got to see where our point of impact is. Start on my shoot and see there. I got a gong back there about 20 yards. We'll try to knock over some of the steel on the pistol bay here. Then I'll take her down to the rifle range. We'll do some longer range shots like I said, but I'll also probably move this guy out 50 yards and we'll shoot some groups. I got a decent array of ammo to try out through it today. We got the arms core. What are these? These are the 36 grain hollow points. CCI standard. This should give us good groups. This is one of my go-tos now. A Gila Super Extra, I believe it's called. Where is that? They're just calling it high velocity now? They used to call it Super Extra. Interesting. But these always shoot pretty well for me. A lot of guys like these. The TAC 22 shoots pretty good like these two. The arms core is going to be our worst there. Should be, but we'll try these through it. And when I do the extended chrono test with other barrel lengths later on, I'll definitely run some higher velocity stuff like velocitors and stingers, interceptors, and whatnot. But let's go ahead and get started here. I'm going to shoot at my target there and see where she's impacting for me. I have no clue what this thing is zeroed for. All right, we'll get started here. I'm going to start out with the arms core. Link in the description, guys, for anything you see me using my videos, eyes, ears, target stand, what have you. All right. Now, most of these, like I said, they're going to be hard to knock over with 22, but if we hit them towards the top, especially in rapid succession, usually I can get most of them to tip over. But this is about 15 yards roughly, and low right with the arms core, so we're close at least. Now I switched to the different ammo up there, and it might hit a slightly different point, so we'll have to test it further out to see if I need to adjust the zero any. And of course, arms core, I already got a dud. Going to try to restrike it, see if it'll go off. And this is just standard 1022 trigger. I guess for anyone who doesn't know anything about 1022s, we'll try to get a trigger weight here in a second, and I'll show you the trigger. So let me load this guy back up, see if I can knock some of that steel over. I'll try a few of these other ones on the target down there, but it's difficult to be steady off of that or off of this, so we'll save the groups for when I go down to the rifle range. All right, let me show you guys that trigger real quick. So just your standard 1022 trigger. Got a little bit of take up there. And then we'll pull through. That one feels pretty good. Usually might just be my stance and not being at the bench and whatnot, but usually I get a little bit of creep on these. Yeah, it was like a smidge there. This feels better than average. Let me grab my scale, get a weight on that for you. Trying to get this all in frame for you guys. Wow. That says 3.9. Let's try again. 3 pound, 9 ounce. This unit seemed pretty well wore in. The magazine spring was rather weak, and I think that's why this trigger's coming in lighter than average too. It's probably seen a decent amount of rounds downrange, so everything's wore in nice. As you can see there, no last round hold open, but 1022s have always been that way. I'm hitting all these at the tippy top and they still won't fall over. The 22 just not enough energy. And there's another arm score dud. Alright, I got my Gila load up in here. We shouldn't have any more issues. Those arms core primers really suck. I've shot thousands of rounds of that stuff and I always get dud primer strikes on those. These are 40 grain instead of 36. Maybe they'll have a little more energy to knock those last 3 over of the black there. Which that's 17 yards from here. Laser rangefinder confirmed. If you guys are looking to get yourself a good budget rangefinder, link for this one in the description. Been using it for years. Love it. Let's see if we can get these. Almost. Maybe if I rapid that devil guy there. That was the mag. It got stuck and didn't feed the rounds up. I noticed when I was loading it up that the spring in it is very weak, so I think it's a very well worn mag. So I wondered if we were going to have issues like that from that weak spring. It needs a new fresh mag in it. There we go, finally 4 or 5 shots in a row. So we are getting some velocity loss, which duh, right? Over a 18-20 inch barrel, because the 1022 rifle with the 18.5 inch barrel, I believe it is, will knock these down if I hit them at that little top part there, whereas this one is not. So that's no doubt due to the velocity loss. So maybe if I hit them a little higher though, go for the one on the right first. Let's send 2 at that one, then we'll go left with 3 shots. There we go. I noticed all the shots were low because remember on my shoot and see target down there, it's hitting lower than where the dot was, so I aimed a little higher on that one. So it should be the same story for this one. If I can actually hit it towards the very top there, it might actually fall for us. Send one to the gong while we're at it. I'm going to try to aim dead center. It's about 21 yards. Well, it seems zeroed for these at 20. Now, I did attempt to do the velocity test here, like I said in the beginning of the video, but my batteries were basically dead. Every time it would only run for a few seconds and then shut off. Last time I used it just a few weeks ago, it was just fine. But so anyway, stay tuned for a velocity test. Pistol length barrel versus the Charger here, and then the regular length 1022. All right, down here at the rifle range, got her set up there at 50. I am not the greatest with little red dots. I'll do what I can, but so I'm just going to basically aim center mass because I can barely see that oval from here. Seeing those little red dots would be impossible. And I think it'll actually be more steady if I take it off this bipod here. I've never been a huge fan of bipods personally. So I'm going to unscrew that and we'll put it up on my bag there where I'll be more steady. Alright, so I'm not going to lie, but perhaps not surprisingly, it's definitely not as steady as a rifle. I can see myself wiggling on that target a little bit there. I'd be able to do far better with a scope, but I'm definitely noticing it's not as steady as a rifle because you're kind of just holding it from the back there, so you do have some wiggling around. So I'll take a couple here and then I'll get you guys zoomed in. Just remember we have, what's that, a 5-shot group above the oval there and then 3 off to the right next to that dot. So I'm going to start out with those arms quarter because those should be the worst for us. I'm just going to aim 6 o'clock on that oval. It's the best way for me to see the center of the target. I hope that's not throwing those shots. I've noticed as soon as I shoot it, it immediately jolts off to the right. There's nothing I can do about that. I might have to switch to my bag. But those look fairly centralized there, so we should be alright. So I think the bullet's exiting the barrel before it kicks sideways on me there. So yeah, that's your arms core there. I'll switch to the Aguila now. We'll see how those do. Same aim point for the Aguila, and I'm going to speed all these up now so this doesn't take forever for you guys. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and try the TAC 22 and then the CCI standard. I'm going to aim higher for those. Just under the top dot, it combines with the existing group there. Not too bad, though not particularly better. And I was aiming roughly where that red dot was, so they didn't really drop a whole lot more. Let me go to that left dot for the CCI standard. Oh, those are definitely better. I gotta say, I tried this thing and the bag. It didn't really seem to make a difference because the whole time this is just kind of in limbo and I can see myself wiggling down there. So I think this would be a lot better suited for laying down prone and like putting it on a backpack or bunching a jacket up under it or something like that. I could probably shoot it even more accurately. But that being said, that group there at 50 with all my movement and some wind there on that left dot, that's actually pretty dang good considering all things. So we're going to get a lot of drop from those, especially further out because of the lower velocity, but that's probably what we're going to have to use far out there to get our hits. Now, I regularly shoot 22 long rifle pistols accurately, like pistols. I'm talking like 3-4 inch barrel pistols, 5 inch, 100 yards accurately with a red dot on top. So I knew 100 yards wouldn't be any issue whatsoever. Plus you could tell that right away by that tight group there. I mean, even the worst group we got down there at 100 yards is still going to hit my 16 inch gong at no problem. So I went ahead and I set that guy, where are we at here? Oh, it's in the shade. The black gong there, 16 inch at 200 yards. You can see there's some wind, like I said, so Probably have to aim off to the left edge of that plate too, because that bullet's going to drift several inches at 200 yards with that wind. And who knows how high I'm going to have to aim. So off to the right, there's the 200-yard mound where we have the gong, but I was taking some practice shots at the road here to see how much drop I was going to get and how much wind was going to blow it to the right. Right here is about where I was aiming, but the bullet impacts are down here. So that's a lot of Kentucky winders I was having to use down here to get these hits. You can also see how those were pretty accurate considering I was just slinging them down kind of rapid fire. Here's what I should have been doing in the first place. That's dang near perfectly steady. I just had to scoot it back far enough to get my hand in there. That's way steadier than what I was just doing, so I'm pretty sure I could cut the group almost in half at 50. But I still can't see the target very well, so with a little pistol scope on there, guaranteed I could cut that group in half down there. I was waiting to see if the sun will move and give us light on that mound, but I don't know if it's going to. I'll wait a little while longer because I kind of got to. You guys won't be able to see anything down there. So hopefully the sun will hit that mound for us in a few minutes. Well, I've been messing around with other guns for about half an hour and it's kind of speckled down there. That might be as good as we get, so I'm going to get started here. And you can see we still got the breeze to the right. Just high left. Next three are hits. Next two are just low left, followed by two more hits. This was my first attempt in the wind, so with no wind and a little more practice knowing exactly where to hold, that would be a hit every time, no problem. Wait till you see the 300-yard video coming up next. Maybe I'm beside myself on this one, but this answered all the questions I had about it, which was mainly just, is it accurate like a rifle, even though it fits in a backpack? Which, based on the results I saw, especially considering I would have been astronomically better with the scope, again, that's coming up in the 300-yard video that I'll post with this next, I would say you're definitely getting rifle accuracy or very near rifle accuracy with this thing. And then as soon as I get that chrono video up, we'll see if it's closer to rifle velocity like I suspect it is than regular handgun velocity. So stay tuned for those. For anything you see me use in my videos, everything's linked under the video, including my campsite page for things I cannot link to on here. Thanks for stopping by, checking this one out today, and I hope to see you on the follow-up videos with this one.